go live, impromptu live. Not that I have anything super important to talk about or any kind of breaking news, but I typically would have a video have gone up today on Friday. But I got distracted by the holiday weekend and I forgot. Who's watching so I can say hi? Hi, Rachel Faith. Yeah, you usually catch my premieres on Friday that I've been doing, but I forgot to do one today because I'm out of town. I'm actually in visiting family in Maryland. Baby Joy Chaser and I are at the park at the playground. I figured we get out of the house, out of my aunt's house for a little bit, let him run around. Um, so I said, well, let me go live. Let me be inspired by Tamika's TTC's live video the other day and go live and see who is all available to chat. The weather here is pretty good. It's hot, but it's not as hot as it has been. In Philly earlier in the week, it was like over 100 degrees as of Thursday. I think it's like 80s here. The my phone had said it was gonna be 77, but it feels like more like 80s. It's a little bit humid, but I like this little playground because I don't know if you can see above me. They have these nice little shaded picnic benches that you can sit on while you watch your kid run around on the playground. So far, we the only people out here, but I see another car has just pulled up. It's raining there. It was raining really, really bad on the way down. I drove down from Philly yesterday, late afternoon, evening time, and it was pouring. A couple times it was raining so bad that I could barely even see anything. But I just kept driving. It didn't last that long where it was raining that hard, but it was raining a lot, and you could see the lightning coming down. And by the time I actually got to my aunt's house, the power had went out, and so the power was out. My cousin said the power went out around 3, and it did not come back on until like 11. So luckily, the house, I guess, must have been pretty cool because it still stayed, reasonably cool considering we did not have any AC because we didn't have any power. But I was very glad when it came back on. But yeah, yesterday the rain was terrible. Today the skies are a little cloudy, but otherwise it's a nice day. Nice day to be at the playground. Let Baby Joy Chaser run all around. Yeah, I really like this playground. We have a nice playground near where I live, but the one thing that's missing is shade. There's not a lot of covered areas. There's a guy just parked behind me that doesn't look like he's here with any kids. Y'all know I have my trust issues, so I'm gonna turn this way so I can see if anybody's coming up behind me. He looks like he's here probably to work out though. There's tennis courts over here, and I'll show y'all. They have tennis courts over here, and they have these little grills that people could come over here cook out. It actually looks like maybe people use them. And then there's a basketball court over here too. And this is the little kid playground, and then the bigger kid, which of course Baby Joy Chaser likes to run over to the bigger kid one. Yeah, you can't trust people. And I'm a city girl, so I'm already feeling out of my element whenever I'm like in in the suburbs, because it's just a completely different vibe. Like a bug just crawled on me. That don't be happening in the city that much. Even though where my new house is, it's a lot more nature than I'm accustomed to. I have to learn how to get rid of mosquitoes. So I don't know, Rachel Faith, if you know about how to avoid mosquitoes, let me know, because I'd like to sit in my backyard more often, but it's so hot during the middle of the day that you kind of want to go out there when the sun is setting, but that's also when the mosquitoes are coming out. So I haven't figured it out. I've seen those tiki torch things, but they seem a little intimidating. I don't want to set nothing on fire. So I don't know who's gonna probably catch this video later, but I will answer one question that I got in my comments. I think it was probably on Baby Joy Chaser's birthday vlog. Somebody was asking, does he ever ask about a dad? And so I answered in the comments, but I think that might be a good kind of topic to cover for this impromptu video. So the short answer is no, he doesn't ask about a dad, but I think he understands in a basic level like what a mom and a dad are, because because of cartoons we watch a lot of Daniel Tiger, and there's a mom tiger and a dad tiger there. I'm trying to think what other cartoons. I feel like most of the other things we watch don't really have that. We watch a lot of Word World, which is animals making words, and we watch Veggie Tales. We watch a lot of Veggie Tales, which is like a Christian-based cartoon. And they don't really show a mom and a dad a whole lot, but they do occasionally, and they'll mention like, listen to your mom and dad. So I think he's starting to grasp that mom and dads are parents, but he's not asked about his particularly. So sometimes he'll play, and if you can hear him, I don't know if y'all can hear him. As soon as I said if y'all can hear him, he stopped. Most of the time he is like chatting and singing and talking to himself. Oh, I can zoom. I didn't know I could zoom on here. So most of the time he'll be sitting and talking and playing to himself. And when he's doing it, sometimes I'll hear him, like he'll have he has a good imagination. So he might have like two big Legos, and he'll be like mom and the dad, and he'll have them playing around, and I'll be like, oh, that's the mom, that's the dad, and he'll say yes. Or he might have several of them, and he'll be like, oh, like the other day he had several of the Legos. Oh wait, I don't see where the guy went. I'm just trying to stay alert to my surroundings while I'm talking to y'all. I think maybe he's on the other side of his car. Yeah, he was on the other side of his car. So the other day he had like 4 or 5 Legos out, and like the big Legos that are for toddlers, and he was like, this is Junior Asparagus, and this is Bob the Tomato, and Larry the Cucumber, and Mom. So he included me. I was like, oh, I'm there. But he's never come out and be like, where's my dad? The most he did for a while, he would call my brother dad. Not a whole lot, but here or there. And most of the time I would just gently correct him and be like, no, that's Uncle Shane. His name's Uncle Shane. And then sometimes he'd be like, hi, Dad. And my brother would just laugh, and I'd be like, that's Uncle Shane. Say hi, Uncle Shane. And he'd say, hi, Uncle Shane. Then I had mentioned in the comments, like if one time we were at my brother and my sister-in-law had, took care of him for the day. And so when I got there, he had said something about Dad and was talking about my brother. And so I was like, oh, did you hear a lot of people calling Uncle Shane Dad today? Because, my nieces and nephews live there. And that's all I said. So I haven't made a big deal about it. He hasn't directly come out and asked. Every now and then a family member might mention something and refer to the donor as Dad, and I'll try to correct that. And I'll say, oh, we say donor, because there's a difference between, a person who donated their genetic material. The guy is leaving. I could feel more safe out here by ourselves again. But yeah, there's a difference between the person who's been kind enough to donate their genetic material to allow me to have my son, and a dad or a father who is present, in the person's life, um, and actually, has some type of familial type relationship with the child and the mom. So it's a difference. So I try to gently correct any family members, because I know language and words are important, and as he gets bigger, I don't want him to have confusion. um, and then years ago, it's crazy I could say years ago because he's 3, so technically years ago, when I first had him, I came up with like a little song that I sing to him, and we still sing it sometimes, which is kind of like his origin story. And I'll just, you guys know I call him Baby Joy Chaser online. I'm starting to say BJC because he's getting so big. He's not really a baby anymore. But I'll be like, the song is called "This Is a Story of," and I'll just say Joy Chaser, but it's actually, his real name. And it's a whole song, and I made a video. I'll try to tag to it when I think after you do a live, I'm assuming I can go back and edit it and add like a tag. But if not, I'll like tag to that video in the comments. But that's like a song that I made up. This kind of tells his story, and how mommy had so much love and she wanted to share it with the baby. And, I talk about sperm and eggs and all that. I'm sure when he gets, possibly now because his language and his communication. Come back over here. Come back to the playground. He's trying to go to the basketball court. Come back over to the playground. Um, his language is improving. His communication skills are improving. So I might, maybe when daycare starts, I could be in trouble, get called in by the teacher about why is he talking about sperm and egg. But, it's the truth. So he'll know the truth of his origin. But the dad issue hasn't come up yet. I'm praying that because he knows his origins from the very beginning, that he'll be well adjusted. That's my prayer. But I can't control that. All I can do is do everything I can, make sure that he knows how loved he is. He's born out of love. The other thing, we've talked about occasionally that there's different kind of families, and I'll usually bring that up, like if we're watching something. Like there's a Daniel Tiger has a really good episode about different kind of families, and I'll be like, the owl lives with his uncle, and Katerina Kitty Cat lives with her mom, and we watch Arthur occasionally. And there's characters that are twin boys live with their grandmother. And so I would just point out that they're all kind of families, and those characters live with those other adults. And I'm saying we have a mom and baby family, and in our house, in our family is me and him, and then I'll also include my niece who lives with us, and I'll include my cat. That's who lives in our house. That's who's our family. And another thing that I think I said only once, but I plan to say in the future, like if he ever says, well, why don't I have a dad, I'll explain about the donor. And then I also say, but every family is different. So like some families have 2 moms, some families have 2 dads, some have a mom and a dad, some have just a dad. So I can see you. Some have just a mom, some have a grandma, some have grandpops, some have brothers and only brothers, and some have only sisters, some have brothers and sisters, some have cousins, like we have my niece who's his cousin who lives with us. It just really emphasizes like everybody's family is different. Everybody has different types of family members that make up their family. So that's how I can plan to address the dad issue. Who's watching with us? I know Rachel Faith is watching. I see someone else watching. Rachel says, oh, back to my mosquito, because she says stay in the house. Well, I do stay in the house, but I moved to that house because it has that nice backyard, so I want to use it. And I have one citronella candle. I probably need more. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I guess I got to do some real good internet research to figure out how to be able to comfortably sit in your backyard and not get eaten up by mosquitoes. Oh, I can share. Let me share that I'm live with people. I don't think they know. Let's see. Oh, I'll do it to my... Okay. Rachel Faith says her nephews love VeggieTales. So I got VeggieTales. I first learned about them like 15, I guess almost like maybe like 20 years ago. I don't even know how long. When my nieces and nephews were first born and were like little teeny people. And now they're basically almost all adults. But I used to get VeggieTales VHS tapes, I think, and then DVDs for them. And, you know, they liked it. And so now I don't even own a VCR anymore. And I found my DVD player in the garage in the box that I had never unpacked from the move. But it's not hooked up. So we watch VeggieTales on YouTube. Somebody has put together a whole playlist of the Bible story based VeggieTales, and those are the ones I like. Those are the ones I used to get from my nieces and nephews, and so those are the ones we mostly watch. Now they're also on Netflix, but they seem a little different now. The song, I think, is slightly different, and the graphics look, well, obviously the graphics are more up to date. They seem to be more just like moral stories, and nothing against that, but for right now, for the most part, we watch the Bible stories. Yeah, Rachel Faith says her oldest nephew just turned 20 and he was obsessed. He loved Larry, but yes. Yeah, so he's around the same age as my nieces and nephews. We were watching Larry Boy this morning here at my aunt's house. So I'm like, you know, I'm a Christian, so I'm like looking for ways to like introduce my son to like Christianity and helping him to like develop his own relationship with God, but in like a gentle way. Because I wasn't like forced to go to church, and in general was pretty a fun and easy approach for me growing up, and that I think served me well, though I admittedly took a 20-year hiatus from actually attending church. I never took a hiatus from my actual beliefs, and that actually, and it's interesting because that hiatus had more to do with people, not my family, but people trying to kind of force religion and on me, and guilt related to religion on me as a preteen and teenager, and it had the opposite effect. So I don't want to do that. So I use VeggieTales as a tool to kind of introduce some ideas about God. You want to say hi to the people? No, you're too busy, huh? So, like I said, this was just an impromptu live because I'm sitting out here with him. Oops. And I was like, well, I'm not talking to any adults right now, so maybe I could talk to y'all, because I realized I forgot to get my video up in time. So I'll share what I was going to share this week, next week. which was no breaking news. You guys saw the most interesting or most important update the other week. I had my ERA and got those results. They were the same as the first time. I needed 12 extra hours of progesterone. So that's like the most breaking news. I'm just still trying to work on the weight loss. It's so hard for me to lose weight. If you followed me from the very beginning, you will see that there were so many different weight loss related videos. Like I did hypnosis for weight loss one time. I did Nutrisystem and had some success, but you know that food doesn't taste that great. I mean, it's not terrible, but you know you're not going to eat Nutrisystem for the rest of your life. I have been working with a nutritionist for a while, but I kind of let that go because kind of the same issue I had when I was doing oh, Rachel's face says she just started back to keto. So when I was trying to get pregnant the first time, I did keto, largely did keto, and that helped me get to the BMI number. But then I felt like it backfired on me because like I was doing keto and I got down to their number, and then I did get pregnant, and then I got gestational diabetes. So then I had to like be really restricted with carbs then as well. And I felt like as soon as I had that baby and I did not have to be as restrictive as anymore, I just was like carb city. Come back, too far. Too far. I was just like carb city. And so I'd really like to, like, while I would like to lose weight faster, I really want to do something that's going to be sustainable, like, forever. And keto is not it for me. But I might do keto, like, when I get, like, really close to the goal, like, to, like, just kind of get me there a little quicker. But yeah, I was working with a nutritionist for a while, and she was very helpful. She was helping me to understand about how certain foods work together, how the hormones play a part in your body. Like when you have sugar spikes, it causes you to have an insulin spike, and then the insulin spikes causes you to be hungry, and you just kind of get in this vicious cycle. And something about the insulin makes your body hold on to the fat longer. So that was really interesting to learn about. So we talked a lot about pairing a food properly, like proteins and fiber and carbs, not having just simple carbs by themselves, and why, you know, the more complex carbs, too high, get down, work better because they help you not have those spikes, which cause the whole insulin thing. So like the hormone, and I know hormones play a big part because I know, like, I've been overweight my entire adult life, and I gained weight with puberty. So I know that hormones do play a part. So that was like really good information, but I started to feel like, and it's my issue. It wasn't the nutritionist. And I know it's my issue because I had the same thing when I was doing Weight Watchers in-person meetings. When I don't feel like I've lost enough weight, I start to feel like I'm disappointing the people I'm going to talk to, and then that makes me feel stressed. And then it leads to like emotional eating. So just, you know, it was starting to backfire a little bit. So I just kind of put the nutritionist on hold, like, while I start to learn, you know, I've learned some things from her, and I'll start to get better and practice with implementing, and I'll probably pick it back up. But it's challenging. But I have kept off all the weight that I lost from the beginning of the year, and lost like another 5 pounds. It's like I'll lose 5 pounds, and then I'll like plateau there for a while, where I'll be like up down, and then I'll be able to lose another 5 pounds. So it's a slow crawl. Yeah, it's slow, but I don't want to like switch clinics. Like, it is annoying that my clinic has this, okay, oh, Rachel Faith's on her way to bed. She works nights. Oh, I didn't know that. Nurse life. Thank you. Thank you for all your work being a nurse, especially during COVID and all that. Come where I can see you. But have a good night and a good, have a good rest and a good night at work. Thank you for joining. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Um, but yeah, this whole weight loss thing is a slow process, but it'll happen. And I don't want to switch clinics because in general I like my clinic. None of these clinics are perfect, and every clinic sometimes that I'll think about or I've heard about, then I'll hear, people's negative opinions of those clinics. And in general, I've had a good experience with the clinic. I don't want to move my embryos because then, I'm sure there's risk with that. Plus, I don't know if it'll work or not. I followed, I think it's Tanika TTC, her journey, and she's been trying with her own eggs and then with donor eggs, and it's been a challenging road for her. So none of this is guaranteed. We just try to have faith and do all that we can to have and build these families that we want. But it's up to God, and I don't know God's plan, but I know that I want to do everything that I can, and I don't want to have the lingering question, like hey Mona, how are you? Like, I don't want the lingering question, like say if I did switch clinics to one that doesn't have a BMI requirement and I transfer my embryos, I have 2 left, and neither work. I don't want to have the lingering thought of, oh, would they have worked if I was at a healthier weight? So I'm just going to do the work to get to the healthier weight, and that way I'll know and feel confident that I've done everything that I can to give my embryos the best chance, even though it's just taking me longer than I would have hoped. But things happen. I'm trying to do things a healthy way. But I guess things I've been doing, so one thing I've been doing more recently is trying to work on my emotional eating aspect. And so I've been trying to not do as much late night snacking, because I tend to snack after baby Joy Chaser has gone to bed, because it's finally made it through the day. And part of you kind of wants a reward for surviving another day of parenting, especially this pandemic parenting, where I haven't had access to daycare while I've been working full-time every day with very little help, only babysitter maybe one day out of the week, and not always that. So feeling like, oh, I need a reward, and finally you can eat a meal in peace without having to get up and go get somebody juice, or oh, they threw their fork on the floor and you gotta wash it, or they're done eating and want to play but you barely touched your food and now you got to get up. So just wanting to eat in peace at night, but that's not been really serving me well, health wise, weight wise. So I've been working on that and having some success, not every day, but definitely more success than in the past. So that's one thing I've been working on. Trying to have more vegetables in my diet. So those are some of the things that I've been doing. I've always worked out, so the exercise part has never really been an issue for me. But yeah, so so no exciting update today. Mona, I was saying I just decided to come live because normally I would have posted a video today on Friday. I've been being pretty good the last few months about being consistent with posting updates, and I'm out of town today. I came to visit my family in Maryland for the 4th of July weekend, and I totally forgot to, I had the video, I totally forgot to like finish editing and post it. And so I'll have that for you guys next Friday. So well, maybe, you know, I'll be inspired by Tamika TTC and I'll go live. So I don't know who's around middle of the day on a Friday, but figure I'll go live. So we are in Maryland, and baby Joy Chase and I are at this playground near my aunt's house. Just brought him to get him out of the house for a little bit. So that's kind of what we're doing. Hey, not too far. Come back. Little boy, come back. Okay, I'm leaving. If you're not gonna listen, we're gonna leave. Now he's coming back. So Mona, that's why I came on here live. And so I was just chatting about random stuff. So I was chatting about
Hi, Mommy.
Hi. You want to say hi to the people?
Maybe doing about this. Mommy, hold down.
You want to say hi?
Hi. I can't go down now.
I don't want you to go out there. It's too far. I want you to be in the playground. I want you to do the playground. That's what we came for, to do the slide and the climb. So yeah, I was just kind of talking about some random stuff. So early in the video, I was talking about the topic of dad, which I was saying it hasn't really come up much for him. And the little ways that, hey, come back. All right, I'm going to leave you. Bye. Nope, you're not listening. If you don't listen, we got to go. Bye. Okay, now he's coming behind me. Some people say you shouldn't threaten to leave kids when they're not listening because it could cause abandonment issues. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know it works. And I know if I chase him, he thinks it's a game and will run further away. And I don't want that. Come do the playground. We're going to have to leave soon anyway, for real. So yes, I was touching on the dad topic, and then was talking a little bit about VeggieTales and my desire, because I'm a Christian, to kind of you know, introduce him to like Christianity and spirituality in like a healthy way that's not based in fear or guilt. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mona says she has abandonment issues because her father actually abandoned her. Yeah, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I joined this Facebook group called Conscious Parenting. I think that's what it's called. And I like a lot of it. It's really, well, don't get me to lying. If you a person does conscious parenting, do not come for me, because I'm not claiming to have the definition.
Mommy?
Yes. You ready to go back to Aunt Carol's house?
Back to Aunt Carol's house.
All right, we got to go back soon, though. Oh, you're hungry. He just asked for French fries, macaroni, and a hamburger. So to me, that when he starts to list a bunch of foods, that means hungry.
Macaroni?
We do. We have noodles at the house. I got some macaroni noodles for you. So the conscious parenting thing is like basically being like, I guess, like conscious about what you're doing and not just parenting how you were raised automatically, but like actually being intentional. That's how I'm gonna describe it. And so they talk about a lot of different things, and I did a video, which maybe I'll try to link to later, about ways that I'm raising my son different than I was raised, because I am trying to be intentional. And so like one big thing that I had shared in that video is I allow my son to tell me no. And I think that sounds probably crazy. Sorry. Come over here. Come over here, because there's a car. Come over here. So yeah, I let my kids tell me no, because I want him to, one, not be afraid to tell other people no, stop, come here, for like his mental health well-being, and then also for his safety. And I I want him to be able to handle hearing no well, right? Like some of us, including myself, we hear no and we feel like it's a personal rejection. And I don't want him to feel that way either. I want him to be capable. So that means I allow him to tell me no. That doesn't mean I do what he says or that he doesn't have to listen, but he's allowed to say, no, I don't want to do however. And then I might have to say, well, I understand you don't want to, but right now we have to do it anyway, because sometimes we have to do things we don't want. So things like that. So that's like the conscious parenting, is like really thinking about certain things. But yeah, some people say, like when, if your kid is misbehaving or they won't come to you and you say, I'm leaving, which is often my strategy. Be like, well, I'm going to leave then. They say you shouldn't do it because it could cause abandonment issues. I'm not a therapist, so I don't know. Maybe depending if you did it a whole lot. Um, but obviously that would not compare to like what Mona was saying, if someone actually does abandon you. And I'm sorry that happened, threatening to go home or to leave a room, um, because your kid isn't listening, definitely is not the same as actually abandoning your kid. All right, so more people have come to the playground. There's other little kids here. And I just I can't talk. I just checked my texts to see if my cousin needed us to come back yet, and she hasn't texted back, so I think we're okay. So I'll see if Baby Joy Chaser will play with these kids or not. Um, he has spotted them, but I don't know what he's going to do. Um, it's interesting to see his social development, considering because of the pandemic, we've largely just been in the house. He's only been around a few other kids. Oh, thanks, Mona. She said she saw that video and liked that I really thought about. Yeah, like, I mean, I wanted to be a mom for such a long time. My whole life I wanted to be a mom. I imagine I would have done it the, old-fashioned way with a husband. That was my plan. That was plan A. But, the clock was ticking and getting older, and a husband has not materialized. And so I decided to, you know, have a baby all by myself. So I definitely want to be the best mom that I'm capable of being. Oh, here's another car. I wonder if more kids are coming. I don't. This is my aunt's neighborhood. Oh, that car turned around. This is my aunt's neighborhood, so I don't know how. Come back, come back, come back. I don't know how frequently people actually use this playground. I googled like playground and saw it was 5 minutes from her, so that we could get out of the house. It is hard bringing your toddler, or I don't know, I think 3 is still considered a toddler, your little kid, to someone else's house that doesn't have little kids, because nothing is childproof. And then it's like you're telling your kid all day, don't touch, don't climb, don't do this, don't do that. So I did want to get him out the house where he could just, be free, to roll around, even though he's sneezing from rolling around in the grass. So I wanted to get us out the house, so I had looked up playground. All right, let's see. He's running back. Let's see if he's going to join those other little kids that are playing. Let's see what he does. We go to the playground in our neighborhood sometimes as well. All right. Okay, I think they are... guess this is little kids greeting each other. I don't know. I think, Mona, I think you're the only person watching right now. If you have any questions that I could possibly answer, I will try. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be on here. We're just hanging out here for a little bit before we need to go back to the house where my cousin is. Be careful. So this part of the playground is for 5 to 12-year-olds. And that's, of course, where he wants to be. It's funny because it's like you want your kid to be safe, but I'm also always trying to not tell him he can't do things that he can actually do. And he can actually handle a lot of the stuff on that playground. I just didn't want him to do the really steep slide. Okay. Simona asks, "Am I planning to live in Philly indefinitely?" That is such an interesting question. The timing of it, um, because my brother has been talking about leaving Philly to come down here to Maryland. I don't know what part of Maryland actually, but he's asked me would I consider moving, ever moving, and I kind of got the feeling that he would want me to move too, but right now I have no immediate plans to move from Philly. I've lived in Philly my whole life. There are things I like about Philly, and obviously things I don't like because it's a major city. Come back. No, no, no. It's a major city. All major cities have like crime issues and homeless problems and other things, because no place is perfect. But I know it. I work there. The people that I spend my time with when I get mommy breaks and stuff like that. Oh, the other kids left. Um, they are there. I don't have as much family there anymore. At one point in time, it was just kind of me and my parents that were there, and like my one aunt and uncle, and they technically weren't even in Philly. They were just outside, and now that uncle's passed away. But my cousin came back and lives with that aunt. And then I have baby Julia Chaser's godmother, a cousin on my other side of the family. She's in Philly. And my brother's family. And that's pretty much it. So my brother goes, if him and his wife go, those will be two people that do help me out occasionally with the baby that'll be gone. But I'll still have baby Julia Chaser's godmother. So, you know, it'll be interesting when that happens. Tamika TTC, if you follow her in her live, she talked about building the support system. And I'm going to let you guys know that it is not easy, but it is important to build your support system for no matter what you're going through. And and you have to take the response. Hey, out of the puddle. Out of the puddle. Don't do that anymore. You have to make it your responsibility to build the support system that you need, and it takes work. You got to join groups. There is a local single mom by choice group. I used to go to the meetups when I was pregnant, and a couple right after I had him. Trying to ease back into that, but it's just they meet so early on the weekend, and y'all, I'll be tired. So I haven't made it back for a while, but I do plan to do that. There was a mom from daycare who had her baby with sperm donor, so we've connected and they've played, but she's now since had met a partner, another woman, and they've gotten married. So they're not a mom and baby family like us, but again, it's a non-traditional family, so it's another family I'll point to. But anyway, back to the original question. I plan to stay in Philly and continue to work on my support system, and it's something I think you kind of always have to be doing because people will move. Like my brother's thinking of moving, and then I'll be down to people who would babysit sometime, and so I have to continue to bring more people that I can trust into our circle over time. But I plan to be in Philly. Unless, one, if I meet a man who is like, potential for marriage and he lives somewhere else or his work takes him somewhere else, then I would move for love. I'm not opposed to that. Outside of that, if I started to feel that God was pulling me to go somewhere, I would follow that. Probably dragging my feet though. I'm not a person who quickly does things because I feel like God told me to, because I would want to be super sure about that. But yeah, so as of right now, I plan to be in Philly, and if my brother moves to Maryland, I'll probably just visit Maryland more often, because I do visit here at least. It's been 2 or 3 times a year since I had my son, because I want him to know his family here. And it'll probably just be a little more often if my brother moves here. Let's see. Is my niece going to be my main help during pregnancy, birth, or after? Well, my niece is not my main help now, despite her living with me. She is somewhat helpful here or there, but she is a young woman just starting her adult life, and she is busy. She is doing some good things. She has come back too far. All right, I'm gonna leave. Bye. Come back. She has a social media influencer and modeling career that is kicking off. She has 100,000 followers over on TikTok and a growing, tens of thousands of followers on Instagram, and is doing really well with that. She does branded content over there. She also just got her real estate. Well, not just, it's been a little while now, a few months. She got her real estate license. So she's doing that. She also has a social life, as she should, as a 21-year-old woman. So she helps out here or there in the house. He loves her. I still feel like she's his favorite person. I mean, I know I am as the mom, but when he wants to play, he's looking for her. So I like that he does have. Wait, you ready to go? All right. So I really like that he has someone else in the house that he is building a family relationship with. But I'm not particularly counting on her to be like my main support source of help. When I was pregnant before, I lived alone, and she didn't move in until he was 4 months. So I, prayerfully, when I am able to be pregnant again, I'm praying that God will bless me with another basically uneventful pregnancy, that I can be on my own with him. And if I continue to work on my weight, it'll happen sooner than later. My brother's still in town. The biggest thing is who will watch baby Joy Chasing when I have to go into the hospital to have the baby. So I'll work on that. My niece might be helpful for that. Because at most I'm praying is not even a week. But if I were to need a C-section, which is possible because of his labor and delivery, he had shoulder dystocia, so he got stuck. And you can go check out my traumatic labor and delivery story, or go watch my whole labor and delivery vlog if you want like details on that. Both those videos are public. So it was possible I could need a C-section, which would make me be in the hospital maybe a week. So I'm thinking like my family would step up and help me, between my brother, assuming they're still in town, his wife, my niece at home, baby Joy Chaser's godmother. Might have to ask a friend for help. I do think I want to hire a postpartum doula to come and be with me for the first couple of weeks. Yes, we can get ready to go back to Aunt Carol's house. Let me get ready to close out the video.
On the video.
The video. You're on the video.
On the video.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
How old are you? Say, I'm 3. I'm 3.
Okay.
He will not say how old he is. Oh, you're sitting on me. You're all wet. Puddle. Yuck. So, well, and it's funny because I have 2 nieces, and the niece who does not live with me is the one who's much more interested in like babies and family building type stuff. So she is the one who actually actively babysits for him when she's not in college, when she's not away at college. So if it worked out, she'd probably be very helpful. So we'll have to see. I definitely will be making like more active plans for that stuff when the time comes. So any last minute questions? We're about to get off of here and head back to my aunt's house. Say thank you. Miss Mona said so adorable. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, he hit the phone. We don't want to hit the phone. Let's zoom out. We don't want to hit the phone. No hitting. All right, so thanks for joining me in the live. Thanks to Rachel Faith, who was chatting with me earlier, and Mona. Hello to everybody who'll see this later. Please don't forget to thumbs up the video. If you watched all the way to the end, then you should subscribe, because that means you don't mind my rambling, and you can subscribe and get the notification button so you can hear all my future ramblings, right?
That's right.
All right, so hopefully I'll get back on schedule and I'll post my regularly scheduled video next Friday. And I will chat with you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.